Press 1 to follow the Twitter. Okay, that fucked up. Press 1 to follow the Twitter. I'll accept DMs, I probably won't respond. If you've got anything interesting, we'll VC on Discord. Follow the Twitter, press 1. Apparently there's the 6th or 7th man who wants to contact me, and his only means of setting something up is via Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the promo for the Twitter. Press 1 to follow Godwinson on Twitter. DM's open. We accept anything. We'll read everything. We'll see if you've got anything juicy. We'll see if you've got anything worthwhile to this conspiracy. We're going to cover the whole cast of characters today. Everything that's been happening, everything that's going to happen, and that's the big shit show at play. So press 1 to follow the Godwinson Twitter. Press 1. Toad McJudas. Yeah, so Mama JF streamed. She's talking about burning her passport in the Congo. She's talking about if she gets on the bus, she thinks it's going to go faster. She talks about making babies in the forest, living in a treehouse, wandering beaches nude with a violin, being enslaved in an eyes wide shut sort of harem. She's talking about being like this international sex prostitute. She talks about burning her passport in the Congo of all places, and becoming like an international refugee. Insanity. The parrot, it wasn't a live parrot, it was a stuffed parrot. But just totally bizarre. What did she mean by the parrot, I dare ask? What was the symbolism of the parrot to the esoteric Mama JF message that was being spoken aloud by Mama JF? Where was JF? He clearly approved this. He clearly endorsed this. You can see on his Telegram, you can see on his Twitter that he's tweeting out links to this. You know, he's proud of his potato. Is this the start of a Venti-style, ethossery of the potato? Is JF trying to farm her out for shekels now? Is he trying to monetize, the barely sentient potato? More power to him, because that stream was just absolute nectar in the highest, most concentrated form. I've never seen anything more bizarre, and I've never seen anything more esoteric in my entire life. The woman has led a well-travelled life, let's just say this. She's, I suppose the moral of Mama Jeff's story is just say yes to anything. If you've seen the movie Yes Man, I think it was Jim Carrey, right? He says yes to everything, and he goes on a roller coaster of events, right? And I suppose at the end, I think he thinks that just going with the flow of events, going with the flow of the sea of life, is more beneficial for your soul than it would be if you just resisted one's impulses. And Mama JF is testament to that, Always say yes to strangers, folks. What a disaster. She's enslaved. she's living in a hole. Like a hole. She's like fishing food out from the trash. Like literal trash burgers she's eating. Like absolutely crazy. I implore you all to watch it. Mama JF, it's a story about her life and her dealings with the United Nations. I implore you to watch it. Apparently there's a part 2 to this story as well. I'm amazed. I'm amazed that there is more. Maybe we're going to hear about how she discovered JF and how she became JF's number one fan. In other news, Ethan Ralph, he's been setting up so many conditions about this fight that we all know will not happen if it goes professional. If we have to have, no way is PPP and Ethan Ralph going to pass a physical for a start, right? If they do pass a physical by some bizarre way that they've got in shape in 6 months, right? The two of them. We're still looking at somebody who's 15 years older than PPP? We're still looking at someone who's a grizzled alcoholic who can't deal with the hassles of life, so he buries himself in a bottle. We're also dealing with someone who's 5'1". 5'1". So even if they're both in shape, right? Even if they're both, jacked up, we're still looking at somebody who's 5'1" versus somebody who's like 6'4". What? So there's no way this fight is going to happen professionally. So Ethan Ralph's been tweeting out all of these demands, like, through all of his ciphers. Like, we've got to treat this man like a king, you know? I want it to be in LA. I want it, yada, yada, yada. I want the money in escrow. Ethan Ralph, you are not a king. We're not going to give you $5,000 up front just for your presence of turning up. What's wrong with you? Do you know what I mean? We could set up, like, bum fights. We could set up homeless people fighting each other on the street for less money than this. You know, and we could run a full series. In fact, that's what we might do. Who knows? Watch this space, ladies and gentlemen. But Ethan Ralph, he's putting out all of these demands. He wants us to treat him like John Cena. He wants it in the Staples Center. You know what I mean? With a 20 audience strong crowd. Like, what on earth is this man thinking? You know, and he's reached out to the woman that set up Knoxville. You know, that disaster that humiliated and shamed everyone that appeared, right? Probably the most lasting and well-worn emblem of what Knoxville was the Gunt. And we only saw about 4 inches of the Gunt. You know, we only saw a little glimpse of the Gunt. So I want to see the full 4K footage of the Gunt, you know, in full 360. Alas, Ethan Ralph won't do the fight unless he keeps his shirt on. Another bizarre demand. So he's tweeted out all of these demands to this woman who set up Knoxville. Apparently she's like a professional wrestler. I don't even know who this woman is. She's called Tara something. Tara Rosso. Who knows what she's called. But she set up this fight, right? She seems to be a big cheese in this industry. She gave Ethan Ralph and Tonkasaw the ability to go and settle their score in a professional ring with an audience. Do you know what I mean? They were licensed or whatever. Whatever happened. And what the outcome is now that Ethan Ralph is begging her to set up this new fight. And she's just told him outright, there's no way this is going to happen. You're not going to pass the physical. You're a fool, Ethan Ralph. Nobody's going to accept your bullshit conditions, Ethan Ralph. You know? And she makes the suggestion that I've also suggested, that PPP has also suggested. That was the original intention, right? Just have it out in a car park. Just do it. Just let's have the duel in a car park. 2 people settling a score. You know, 2 men settling their beef. And at the end of it, they shake hands and go about their business. I think this should happen in the desert. I think this should happen in Vegas. We drive out to the desert. We record because it's. I don't know the legality of all of this, but we drive out to the desert. We're in Vegas. We drive out to the desert. We do the fight. The fight probably lasts about 5 minutes. We shake hands and we all go to like Caesar's Palace or something. And we just get fucked. All of us just have a good time in Vegas. You know, we do as much blow, as much booze, as much gambling as we possibly can. I think that would be a good time, you know. But if we did this in LA, what are we going to do? Be shot in this rat-infested shithole that is Los Angeles? Like, what? And also, right, he's got these pissy demands, Ethan Ralph. He's set up these conditions where he wants his Killstream commentary exclusive rights or something, right? And we've got Gator. Gator's tweeting out, yeah, I'm going to be there, lads. I'll be there, you know, with his broom. He says he wants a seat on the announcer's table, and he's going to sit there and pipe in Flamingo and Bibble through Discord. So just picture this, right? Picture this scene. Gator is standing ringside with a laptop, talking into the laptop to Bibble and Flamingo, the professional fight commentators that are Flamingo and Bibble. Can you imagine the sight? Can you imagine the autism? Like, I can't believe this. And then what happens if this happens in the desert or a car park? Like, what is Gator going to be doing? I think the only way we're going to do this, if we film it unedited, right, and we all fly back to where we go after we've had like a weekend of just degeneracy. We all fly back to where we live, and then we release the footage, right? And then there's plausible deniability, right, that, you know, we're not going to get in legal waters. Ralph's not going to be like thrown back in the slammer. And don't forget, like, he's on probation for like DUIs. He's on probation for like attacking a female police officer, right? Anyway, this woman tells him this. I think this is a silly idea. She says, you know, you're all idiots. She says, and she's right. She says the only way this is going to happen, you're not going to get like legally commissioned in LA for a start. She says that like out the bat. And she also says the only way this is going to happen is if it happens in a car park. And this is correct. You know, a remote location, we settle the beef, it's done. We shake hands afterwards, we all go about our business. Maybe we all have a good time together. I think that would be a great time. But that's the only way this is going to happen. And she tells him this. And Ethan Ralph just straight away calls her like she looks like Steven Seagal. You know, she's a 42-year-old female. You know, just completely like ragging on her when she's just given him like some good advice. And she swept away his like nonsensical conditions. These are nonsensical conditions that he's laying down here. You know, because he wants to back out the fight. He doesn't want to commit to the fight. You know, I'm going to play a clip here of Zoom settling his beef with like some online troll. This is how I envisioned the fight right from the outset. This is why I laid down the $5,000. The $5,000's out the bank at the moment. We are sitting with the $5,000 here. So I mean, it's out. I'm perfectly willing to commit to something like this, where Zoom is settling his beef, right, with a troll or something like that. They say Zoom loses the fight. But, you know, at least he came out and did this. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying here? Like, can we not see this between Ethan Ralph and PPP shirtless? I don't see what the problem is. The man is not a king. Ethan Ralph is not a king. He's trying to, like, duck out and lay down these conditions that he wants to keep his shirt on. Because he's so ashamed of his own body that he wants to keep his shirt on. Like, what on earth? Like, PPP has a youthful gun, right? And Ethan Ralph's got this, like, grizzled ballsack gun, right? But who cares? The man's getting paid $5,000 on plus all of the other money that's flying around at this point. You know, he stands at least, if everyone's, like, sincere with their... I mean, at least with me, I've got the $5,000 here. You know what I mean? He's definitely going to get $5,000, which is about $6,200. Not just for showing up. He's got to participate in the fight. You know, he can't just, like, take one punch, tap out, and go, psych, you know, troll, I've got a $5,000 payday. No, that's not going to fly. You're not a king. If that happens, everyone will set upon you. Right. It'll be a dog pile. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's what his plan is. He just wants a payday. He wants it up front. He wants money up front before he even flies out, before any of this is set up. Like, what? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do this? He needs to take at least a few punches. He needs to go at least, what, 1 or 2 rounds? Like, and there's all other money flying around. Like, people are laying down, like, sums of money, which, you know, seem to add up, right? If I take people at their word, it seems to add up to about $15,000, right? People are willing, right, to give their own money for this to happen. And he's got all of these bullshit conditions. All of these bullshit conditions. And he just knows it's not going to happen if he lays down all of these conditions. And the woman, the professional wrestling woman, has told him it's not going to happen unless you do it in a car park. You know, no one's going to take you seriously, Ethan Ralph. You are like an obese, pig-eyed dwarf, alcoholic, who's clearly not going to be in shape by the time this fight starts. No matter if we last... You know, no matter if we string it out for a year, 2 years, 3 years, you're not going to be in shape. You know, the only way this is going to happen is if, what, in 3 months' time, 3 months' time, we meet up in a disclosed location, probably in the desert, in Los Angeles, in Las Vegas, I should say. We just do it like that. We come back, we have a good time in Vegas, we all fly back to where we live, and we release the footage, and we just have a... And then you can rake in your super berries all you want, Ethan Ralph, you know? You can make as much money as you can. But instead they want to... Like, Masterson's tweeting out that he wants to do it in LA because he wants to, like, set up an Indiegogo, like a Kickstarter. Do you know what I mean? They want to scam their pay piggies for as much as this is worth, knowing that if this goes professionally, neither of them will pass a physical, and neither of them will pass, like, a weigh-in. Neither of them will be able to, like, professionally compete. None of them will get a license. You know, no one's going to sanction the fight. This is not going to be done legally. The only way this is going to be done is if it's done like Zoom in that fight I've just showed you. You know what I mean? And I don't see what's wrong with that. I don't see how or why we have to set up this professional thing in the Staples Center in LA. It just seems so silly. It seems so daft to me because, at least with the option I'm presenting, it's going to happen. It will happen, right? Disclosed location, it will happen. If we do it the way Ethan Ralph's doing it, Sure, he can hype it up as much as he likes, but it's like hyping up Gator's trip to the moon. You know, I'm getting my astronaut training, lads. I'm going in the rocket. I'm flying to the moon, and it just will never happen. But he wants to scam the pay pigs. They all want to scam the pay pigs. The cover-up continues. The collusion continues. And it continues in a way that even now, right, you've got people like Rand. You know, I'm somewhat trepidatious to go on a stream with PPP, a man who, at any time, may display his anus. Randbot's a joke, just a complete, I am somewhat trepidatious. He's just going on streams all the time saying that, I think, just unironically, in complete silence, he goes, I think these are feds. I think Godwinson and PPP are FBI agents. There's no humour there. This is purely his schizophrenic, drunken, 10-minute cursory reading of Poll at play. You know, the man visited Poll once for 10 minutes and formed his entire worldview on that, you know. They're doing this to us, you know. Shut the door! The man lives with his wife and family. He's got a family, you know. He's got an actual family that he's supposed to look after and provide for. And he spends his time screeching and running gun guard and pretending that he's like this wignat, you know. It's the Jays! Ah! Like, what's wrong with him? Like, is he okay? Well, we all know he's not okay. We all know he's like a chronic alcoholic. Ethan Ralph is nothing but a mensch. A mensch. But apparently, it's been such a boost to his career, right? We all know now about his wife's miscarriage. We all know now that, you know, Rand just hasn't got it together at all. You know, he's not even like a coherent speaker. We all know that thanks to Ethan Ralph. So he's been nothing but a mensch, we agree. And you've got the other one, right? What a gay op yesterday was. I think it's still going on. Phantom Organisation gets flagged by a sock puppet account ran by Dame Pesos, you know. And this guy is like, I flag it, he's flag it, Monday Matt, no, You know, so funny, so hilarious. Do you know what I mean? This guy is running Gunt Guard. I run Gunt Guard. Oh, it's Gator time. I'm pathetic. I'm a sycophant. Check you God. The young tax. I'm so funny. It's not funny. It's getting cringe, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting cringe, and it proves the collusion. It proves the cover-up. I type in capitals. I'm a cringy man. I'm Mr. Metacore. Do you think Dummy sits at home with a framed picture of Ethan Ralph on the wall? Do you think he prays to the framed picture of Ethan Ralph? I play Monday Matt. No, Monday Matt flag. Oh no, the man's a disaster. He's setting up like various sock puppet accounts to gay up people into thinking they've been flagged. He's taking down videos, right? This guy is like taking down videos under Ethan Ralph's name as a gay up. But you know what remains, right? Is that people are being flagged. This is happening. Whether you do it ironically or unironically, it's still happening. I mean, would it have mattered if Monday Matt was flagging people with a fake Mexican accent? I flag you, I flag. Would that have been acceptable? Would Ethan Ralph and co not have done like 4-5 hour kill streams with Monday Matt, bringing him into the light? If Monday Matt did it with an American accent, going cha cha cha, it's Gator time. Would that have been acceptable? Because I mean, this is what's happening right now, and the only reason Dame Pesos is doing it is because he wants to protect his Lord and Master Ethan Ralph. Why? What's going on here? Like, the cover-up continues, the collusion continues. What a disaster, ladies and gentlemen. What a disaster. I think that's all we've got at the moment, right? Like I say, follow the Twitter. There's going to be DMs open. I probably won't respond. If you've got anything good, we'll set up a VC on Discord and we'll sort of work out what's going on. The 6th, 7th man wants to contact me on Discord, on Twitter, and the only way he's going to set that up is if I get this Twitter account made. So watch this space, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, watch the skies. Believe in the bumblebees. The aliens are coming, and the black oil virus is real.
Johnny Bronx says Sly Josh has always hidden some issue with you and Jim. He seemed to be deliberately misunderstanding you earlier. So I will say this. This is for the people who followed the Twitter thread back and forth between me and Josh and him talking about parameters for the fight. I don't want to say that he deliberately misunderstood, but I thought I was pretty clear with what I said. Let's put it that way. And I think that Josh has been riding the fence with this. And I think that his prediction about Jim quitting New Project 2 was some faggot tier bullshit that didn't fucking happen. And that I said wouldn't fucking happen. Like right after I saw that he said it. Now I still like Josh, but I think his reputation as this all-seeing, all-knowing wizard is sort of in doubt after the strident predictions he made. He might have just made them for fun. That's perfectly possible, but he looked retarded, if you ask me, about his prediction.
Josh wants the shit show. He's going to play both sides because he wants the shit show. He'll say whatever he can to make sure that this fight happens. And so
I'm not even taking it.
Stroke PPP's ego a little bit. He's got to stroke your ego a little bit. That's what he's gonna do.
No, it's not even personal. Like I still like Josh. I just think he's kind of gotten caught on the edge, and he's also on New Project 2, and he's trying to kind of cater to both sides. I don't give a fuck. All the PPP Godwinson people can burn in hell for all I give a fuck. But he's kind of trying to play both sides, and I understand it. But I don't give a shit. You motherfuckers can drink bleach for all I give a fuck. He's in a different position. But I'm not. I can say whatever the fuck I want. I don't have to worry about it. And I guess it sucks to be in another position, but that's not me, so